Park for the final rounds in the 2018 Speed Group F1000 Championship. Lee Morgan starts on pole position for this bumper grid of cars, 18 out here today. Now, we've got 2 races today, and within that, Michael Watton could well tie up the championship. We caught up with him before the weekend to talk about his championship preparations. Michael, we're on the eve of the final rounds here at Donington Park. The championship is almost there in your grasp. A lot of hard work throughout the season. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident. We're in a strong position. Obviously, you know, in racing it's never over until it's over, so there are some nerves associated with that, but we had a good test day here on Thursday, so we're feeling good, and hopefully we can do what we need to do to get it across the line this weekend.
And of course, the important thing to remember is that it's not just yourself that's been involved in this throughout the season. Of course, Dad's been involved as well. Supporting Michael throughout the season must have been tough for you. What's it like being a father of a race driver, and what support do you have to give?
Well, it can be pretty nervous sometimes, but yeah, I spend a lot of hours in the garage, weekends, evenings. There's a lot of work to do on the car. We try and prep it as best I can. So hopefully, well, we've had 10 wins this year, so I think it speaks for itself. But there's a lot to keep on top of.
And are there ever times where it sort of borders, cross borders at home, where you sat around the dinner table talking about the car rather than, how's your day been or whatever, and it gets a bit frustrating?
Well, yeah, I think if you asked my wife that, she'd say that for sometimes. She'd say, oh no, not racing again. But yeah, it does take quite a large part of your life over, to stay with it.
Well, we wish you both the best of luck this weekend at Donington Park. Congratulations on your wins so far this season, and we look forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you.
So Michael Watton then on the verge of the title. He starts on the front row with Lee Morgan making a welcome return on the pole. Rob Welham and Colin Brown are on row 2, ahead of Jamie Vinall-Meyer and Andrew Dunn. Richard Gittings and Lycett are next, and then Elliot Mitchell and Adam Walker, 2 to watch moving forward. Rob Bailey and Dan Clowes down on the 6th row with some real work to do. Dan Levy, Dax Ward, Andrew Wheals and Alwyn Rhodes-May on the 8th row of the grid, with Christopher Hill and Paul Butcher at the back. So Michael Watton comes into this race 40 points clear of Dan Clowes. Dan needs to take more than 10 points out of Watton in this race to keep it alive, and he starts quite some way behind him. The lights go out, the penultimate race of the season is underway, and Lee Morgan makes a cracking start from pole position. Michael Watton should go into 2nd position, and the returning Colin Brown dicing for 3rd there as they run down towards turn number 1. They turn through the right-hander at Redgate Corner. There's the number 16 car of Lycett a bit further back, and the green car of Dan Clowes on the inside really needs to try and make some progress here. He'll be helped by the fact that Michael Watton is slipping down the order. Look at that though, he's down to 4th as they head into the old hairpin for the first time of asking. So not a great start for Michael Watton, but he doesn't have to win this race to keep the title alive. In a way, it's more important that he keeps out of trouble, because he's on this knife edge as far as his drop scores are concerned. He is dropping 2 non-finishes, another one, and he'll have to count it, so he has no more drop scores to fall back on, essentially, whereas Dan Clowes has been wonderfully consistent, never out of the top 5 all year long, and so he has a bit more leeway as far as the drop score system is concerned. Back out of Coppice Corner we go then. Morgan leading the way, and coming under pressure here from Rob Welham. No, it's not Welham in 2nd place, is it? Not sure who that is that's got into 2nd, possibly Andrew Dunn. Will pick them out as they come through at the end of the opening lap. There in 3rd is Colin Brown. Watton is 4th, and it's Welham behind him, I think, in the grey and orange number 5 car. Oof, 3 and 4 abreast further back, and Dan Clowes is involved in all of that. It is Andrew Dunn in 2nd place, and look at that, that's Welham up the inside of Watton. Oh, and he takes over 4th position and nearly clouts the side of the wide sweeping Colin Brown there. Further back, Rob Bailey there, side by side with the 14 car of Adam Walker. The train driver heads up the inside, and like a steam train is starting to work his way up the order, actually making some good progress here through the crane of curves. Another car coming through now on the inside, that was Lycett, so not working out too well here for Rob Bailey at the moment, under beautiful crystal blue skies though here on a glorious autumn day at Donington Park. The racing already is proving to be very, very entertaining, with our biggest grid of the year by far. 18 cars out there on the circuit, and it's great to see how well supported the Speed Group F1000 Championship has become as the year's gone on. Let's hope that most of these drivers come back for a full campaign next year, because if they do, not only will we have a big grid, but a hugely competitive one as well. Rob Welham up the inside of Colin Brown makes another move, 3rd place now for Welham. So Rob Welham carving his way through towards the front. Out of the chicane they go. Michael Watton tried to take advantage of that. He's in 5th place at the moment, but as you can see, Dan Clowes is nowhere to be seen, really. Down towards Redgate Corner they go. Watton having a dive up the inside of Brown. He's going to go through, I think, is he? Does the blue car move its way in front? Yes, it does. So into 4th now for Watton, which would, for what it's worth, score him 20 points. But as long as he's within 10 points of Dan Clowes in this race, then he will be the champion with a race to spare. There are 30 points available for a race victory. So as long as he is more than 30 in front going into the last race, or in fact, even if he was 30 points ahead exactly, because even on a tie break, Clowes would not win because he has far fewer wins than the dominant Michael Watton. The only reason that Michael hasn't wrapped the title up already, really, is because of the odd mechanical issue that he's had this year. In particular back at Snetterton, where he had that poor finish in the middle race that meant he didn't start race 2. So Michael Watton really just needs to hope the car stays in one piece, and even if it doesn't, Dan Clowes needs to gain some ground, really. Rob Welham is really gaining ground there. He's gone to the inside of Andrew Dunn now, who had that lightning start from the outside of row number 3. So Welham into 2nd position. Can he now chase down the race leader? Well, there's Lee Morgan, who holds the lap record here at Donington Park, actually, and conditions really today are almost perfect for lap record pace, so we could well see some really good lap times from Lee Morgan. It's the only circuit actually on the F1000 calendar at which Lee still holds the lap record from a few years ago, back from when he was a series regular. Of course, these days not racing in every round, but he's making a very welcome return here this weekend, is Lee Morgan. And again, he's a driver that I, for one, would love to see back in 2019 for a full season campaign. He could really give this man, Michael Watton, a run for his money. Watton up the hill in towards McLean's they go, and he now sets off after the white number 4 car of Andrew Dunn. Up towards Copper's Corner, they flick it into this right hand of these high downforce pocket rocket single seaters. 185 brake horsepower produced by their 1000cc motorcycle engines. They weigh virtually nothing, about 335 kilos before you put the driver in. So it is important that the drivers try and keep themselves fit and healthy and keep the weight down as much as they can. Top speed in excess of 150 miles an hour, and we're getting towards that as they come down towards Redgate Corner, and that's the point at which Michael Watton dives to the inside, tries to get past Andrew Dunn, but Andrew, having none of it, fends him off, holds on to 3rd position. So Michael Watton just has to take it easy here. I know he wants a podium, I know he wants to move up the order if he can, but Dan Clowes is way down still. For whatever reason, Dan has just had a lacklustre weekend here. Qualifying did not go his way at all, and qualifying all the way down in 12th place on the grid. It was not the way that Dan Clowes wanted to start his title challenge, the final part of his title challenge here this weekend. For Dan, the season started well with 4 podium results from the first 5 races. In fact, the first 3, 6, 8 races, he was on the podium 7 times, including a win at Snetterton. But since then, the wins just haven't been forthcoming for Dan Clowes. And so this man, Michael Watton, who, when he finishes, tends to finish really well. That meant that he arrives here with this very healthy cushion in the points. He's looking to the inside again here of Andrew Dunn, and I think this time will go through. Yes, he does. The cars, with ferocious speed and agility, whip their way into and out of the chicane. They're lapping this place, well, in the dry, in the high 1:06s are the quick lap times. Look at this, though, they're going up the inside of there, the slower car of Christopher Hill, and that almost gave Andrew Dunn the chance to come back at Watton. Watton, though, gets into Redgate Corner first, but Dunn will try and stay with him if he can. He's right behind him, look, as they come through the crane of curves, looks to the inside line. That's a brave move to make, especially at these speeds, and in the end, he perhaps sensibly backs out of it, so Watton hangs on. There is the number 7 car of Colin Brown, again making a welcome return to the championship this weekend. A driver who's enjoyed success in the championship in the past, and I know said that coming into the weekend was sort of targeting a podium finish. Well, he's not a million miles away from a podium finish at the moment, running in 5th place as we speak. Up into Coppice he goes, and he's the next man to start attacking Andrew Dunn, who seems to be struggling here, but remember, all of these drivers overtaking him did out-qualify him as well. So, it's kind of to be expected, I guess, that they find a way through, but Andrew well entitled to race them. Looks like Colin Brown is up the inside, and he's going through at the chicane. So the number 7 car with a bit of oversteer through the chicane, works his way through. 4th position now belongs to him. Well, here's Paul Butcher, dicing away with Rob Bailey further back. He's looking to the inside of the chicane. But Rob Bailey turns in, forces Butcher to back away from that one. And Paul, who arrived here 4th in the championship, but not that likely to improve upon that. So Paul Butcher just out there to try and test a few parts for next year, make sure that the car is working well, and enjoy himself as well, try and finish as high up the order, of course, as possible. But a lot of these drivers thinking about next season already, I'm sure. Many of them realising that the Speed Group F1000 Championship is the place to be. And with the grid size as it is now, the quality of racing, the racing has been really good this year, especially when we've had our bigger grids. We've had some really, really close racing. We're seeing the same sort of thing here at Donington Park. Lee Morgan, though, is your fairly comfortable race leader. Rob Welham is doing his best to close him down, but just doesn't quite seem to have the pace to get there at the moment. Down to the chicane comes this three-way fight for third. Watton, Brown and Dunn not really escaping, having got that third place. He's not pulling away rapidly. So Colin Brown tried to go with him here. There is Rob Welham, the silver and orange number 5 car. In the background, you caught a glimpse of the black and orange number 2 of Richard Gittings, another driver who has made sporadic appearances over recent years in the championship, but good to have him here for the season finale. I think a lot of drivers taking this as an opportunity to look ahead to this championship next year and think about whether they want to come back for a full season. As I said, hopefully they will. Rhys Lycett is the man applying the pressure to Richard Gittings. Look, Rhys Lycett turning through the old hairpin, the youngster who is looking very rapid here this weekend. Qualified in 8th position. He's in 7th now, so he gained 1 place on where he started. Could gain another one here though, because he looks every bit the match for the experienced Gittings, who is not yet feeling the need to defend ultra heavily, but I think that is coming probably, because the white car number 16 with the orange wings is closing in the slipstream now, down the exhibition straight, past the exhibition centre, which is just a driver's left there, the blue building, and then onto the brakes into the chicane. Tighter line in for Gittings. That could possibly compromise his exit speed though. And Rhys Lycett, with a good exit speed, can get in the toe again down towards Redgate Corner. Could be able to have a go here. Gittings knows this and so moves over to the middle of the road to defend. But you brake so late in these things, there is little scope for out-braking into Redgate Corner. Gittings still defended the inside though, so Lycett once more will carry better exit speed down the hill. But then, as we've seen, it's a brave man who will try and force the issue through the graded curves in these cars. Travelling down that hill at such high speed, it's probably not worth the risk. Very right-hander at the old hairpin though. Lycett starting to build a challenge here again. On the power, steeply uphill here through Schwantz Curve. Richard Gittings defending where he has to. Doing a good job here though is Richard. And that very, very well turned out number 2 car is not relinquishing this position without a fight, is he? Richard Gittings running in the Sonic Equipment Invitation Cup this weekend, and that's for cars that are it's aimed at competitors with Jedi manufactured cars of older specification and those that maybe don't quite meet the full championship regulations. And it's there to encourage drivers who couldn't previously compete to come and be a part of the F1000 experience. And Richard Gittings, one of those drivers, one of a couple of drivers here this weekend in the invitational class, Dan Levy being the other one. Unfortunately, Dan pulled off the road after just a few laps of this race and went no further. This is Lee Morgan, though, your race leader. There are a few cars in front of him, but there's no one in front of him in the order. Those are back markers. He is leading the race fairly comfortably over Rob Welham. He's keeping Rob just at arm's length, not being harassed too closely by the second place man. Back markers stay dutifully out of the way. I think that was the number 18 car of Christopher Hill going another lap down. And then this battling pair in front. Now this will be of some concern maybe for Lee Morgan, because he's going to catch them going down the pit straight, and they are busy having their own fight. There is Welham in second place, who has been racing for a little while now, Rob Welham, getting quicker and quicker all the time. Up the inside of the 2 back markers towards Redgate Corner, one of those is Adam Walker, the number 14 car, and the second one is car number 67, which is Andrew Wheals. And Andrew Wheals, yeah, moves out of the way as well, so Lee Morgan's got through. That's actually split that little battle up a little bit now. We're quite a bit closer together than that before Lee Morgan arrived on the scene, but as is the duty of the back markers, they got out of the way, put their own battle on hold for a moment, allowed Lee Morgan to go through. Oh, that's Andrew Wheals off. So Andrew Wheals has had a big old moment down at the old hairpin and is finding the grass is maybe a little damp still from some rain this week, and is just struggling to get back on the road. He does now rejoin the track, just ahead of Rhys Lycett. Look, he's got himself ahead of Richard Gittings, so Rhys Lycett has gained an extra position somewhere out there. And not yet escaping Richard Gittings though, which tells me that it happened fairly recently. There's a nice load of dirt being drug onto the track there by Andrew Wheals, and off has gone, is that Welham? It is, Rob Welham's been off. Rob Welham has gone off up at Coppice Corner and has handed over his second place to Michael Watton. So Michael Watton and Colin Brown now, as they come down towards the chicane, are side by side, and that is no longer a change for third, it's a change for second place. So through has gone the number 7 car of Colin Brown. He wanted a podium on his debut or his return weekend to F1000 racing. He's now into second place. Watton trying to come back at him into Redgate Corner though. Very nearly did go back through. Backed out of it though, so Colin Brown suddenly finds himself gaining 2 places there at the expense of, well, Michael Watton, which was a move that he made all of his own accord, but also Rob Weldon. So Rob Weldon, having just traipsed through the gravel up at Coppice Corner, I'm not quite sure how he managed that. It is an easy place to go off though. Many a driver has been through that gravel trap over the years, because as you're about to see from on board with Lee Morgan, you turn in, you can't see the apex, and then there, that was a perfect example of it. You turn in over the apex, you commit to an apex that you can't actually see, and then the car goes light over the crest and it either understeers off the road or tries to spin you around with some oversteer. So it's very, very easily done, and maybe that's what caught Rob Welham out. We didn't see it happen, so we can only surmise, but it did look as though, as we know, that is a common place to go off all on your own. Rob Welham appears to have thrown away a second place finish. It's perfect news though for Colin Brown and Michael Watton, because they find themselves into podium positions now. Michael Watton is heading across the start finish line in third place. As far as Dan Clowes is concerned, he's still running outside of the top 10. It's just not going his way here. It may well be that the car is not 100% healthy either, but whatever it is, it's pretty much ending any slim championship hope that he had coming into this final weekend. There's Lee Morgan though, through Starkeys, up the hill, and the number 56 car, a very common sight atop the top step of the podium was Lee Morgan for several years in the Speed Group F1000 Championship in recent seasons. As we said, making a return this weekend. He raced with us earlier on in the season though, in fact last time out at Croft, so he's done the last couple of rounds of the championship as Lee, and it's good to have him here. Let's hope that this is a sign that he's coming back full-time next year, because he really is a class act and would have to come into the 2019 season if he did come back as a pre-season favourite. He goes on to the final lap then of this first race of the weekend, and Lee Morgan, former champ, looks as though he's going to take a race victory. Colin Brown is second. Michael Watton, the reigning champ though, is only a lap away from a podium finish, and therefore the championship for the second year in a row. There are some who say that you're mad if you come back and try and defend a title that you worked so hard to win the year before, because really, for some, the only thing you'll get out of it is disappointment, because there's always a good chance that you won't be able to defend it. But Michael came back, and it looks as though he is going to defend the title, and in brilliant style as well, by far and away. More wins than anybody else this year, more podium finishes as well, and more points, of course, which means that he is going to be the champion, I think. On outright points, he and Dan Clowes had actually scored exactly the same amount of points going into this race. Had there not been dropped scores, they would have been tied for the championship lead, but because you drop your 2 worst scores, Clowes had to drop quite a few points, and that ultimately is what means that Watton is going to take the title. Through the chicane though comes Lee Morgan, and he is going to take a victory here at Donington Park. It's his second in succession, because he won race 3 at Croft last time out as well. Lee Morgan with the victory. Colin Brown will come home in second on his return as well. But the champion in third place is Michael Watton. A brilliant drive there from the reigning champ, and he becomes the 2018 Speed Group F1000 champion as well. Brilliant drive that was from Michael Watton. Colin Brown there will be very happy with his second place, and Lee Morgan ecstatic, I'm sure, with the race victory. Confirmation of the result there. Morgan from Brown from Watton, your top 3. The third place finish is enough to wrap up the title with a race to spare. Andrew Dunn is 4th, then Reese Lycett, Richard Gittings, Rob Welham down is 7th after he's off, then Rob Bailey and Paul Butcher. Dax Ward rounds out the top 10 ahead of Alwyn Rhodes Mays. Andrew Wheals, Christopher Hill and Adam Walker rounding out the finishes. Dan Clowes did not make it to the checkered flag.
Lee lights to flag victory, but a little bit of pressure there as well throughout the race.
Yeah, I knew the start was going to be important. You know, it was very close in qualifying. I had a little bit of an advantage, but it wasn't a lot. So yeah, it was just a case of nailing that start really, and making sure I could get away at the front and give myself that, you know, slight cushion to relieve a little bit of pressure at least. Anyway.
Yeah, and you managed to build up a good lead. Were you aware of what else was going on behind you, or was it just a case of concentrating on keeping the car on the track?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching my mirrors. The tyres were going off slightly towards the end, which just so I had to just step it back a little bit. The pace was there probably to go a little bit quicker, but I had a little mistake here and there on 1-2 laps. It could have been quicker. So, yeah, the goal was to get somewhere down near my lap record. So we're not far away. So a few little tweaks on the car, hopefully. But yeah, it's going to be a tough race from P8 and the reverse grid. So I think we've got to nail that start again and just do what we can and see if we can come through. And maybe I think a podium today would be relatively possible if we can get a good start. It's all going to depend on what happens in that first corner, so yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, look forward to seeing you out there. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Colin, that was a hard fought second place. A good battle there with Michael as well.
Yeah, I mean, I got a good start. It took me a lap or two to just remember why I was here. I was like, oh, where am I? Like, I'm in a racing car. It's time to put my foot down, and then when I got back into the rhythm, that was it. I just fought, you know. I just had to go all out to try and go for it.
Reverse grid for the next race. Can you make a good start and get back to the podium?
I hope so. Like, I mean, I think if anything, what I'm probably more sort of used to is the sort of racing side of it. You know, I love racing. You know, so starting on pole was never really my thing. I like to come from sort of mid, back, wherever. So no, I'm looking forward to it. I don't see any reason why we can't get back to where we were.
Well, we look forward to seeing you out there. Congratulations once again.
Thanks very much.
Michael, well done on finishing third. Now, by our calculations, we believe that makes you the champion.
Yeah, it does. Sealed it there. So that was a lot of pressure, especially early in the race. I think I got beat up a little bit. Everyone diving inside of me, knowing that I had to get out the way sort of thing. But once the race settled down, I was able to get into a rhythm. And yeah, it's just fantastic to seal it in the first race. Takes the pressure off now. And just say thank you to my father. Prepped a great car, BSD for the engine, everyone at Jedi Racing Cars as well. It's a fantastic year, and I'm really proud to achieve it.
Was there any point during that race that you knew that Dan had exited from the race, or did you not find out until the end?
No, I didn't find out until the end. Obviously, I knew I was in front of Dan, and I knew that would be enough, so I knew I was in the right place. But yeah, I just wanted the car to hold on to the end, to be honest. You never know what's going to happen, so. But yeah, I had a real buzz racing the guys, especially like Colin, who's come in for her fantastic pedigree. So just to be on the same grid as someone like that is a big buzz for me.
Well, it's all a bit of fun now for the last race, and we look forward to seeing you out there.
Yeah, no pressure, so all out for the last one.
Brilliant, well done.